Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope you've been able to enjoy some of the early summertime temperatures as we have here in Houston. It's certainly warm here in Houston. We were up to 93 this past week with that hot and muggy air. And with Mercury retrograde, I'm sure all of you are beginning to feel that slow down and rewind feeling. Mercury will be direct on July 7th. This week, we're going to have Neptune going stationary retrograde on June 9th, and we have the Cardinal Cross being activated again on June 14th. That could certainly be a day of fireworks. After you view our show, please take some time to subscribe, and you'll get the show sent to your email. If you do want to contact us, you can always reach us at LillyRoddyShow.com, LillyRoddyShow@AOL.com, or, of course, find us on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook. And thanks again for the nice compliments about our show. Well, let's get on to the upcoming week of June 8th through June 14th of 2014. All right, Sunday, June 8th, the moon continues to seek balance as she moves through Libra the entire day. However, she'll become void of course in the mid-afternoon. The moon opposes Uranus at 3:13 a.m. This is somewhat of a restless energy, and it may make it difficult for you to fall asleep easily tonight. The moon trines the sun at 6:44 a.m. Now, this is a nice aspect in that it makes the morning a more enjoyable process. Spend some time with friends this morning. The moon squares Jupiter at 2:47 p.m. We're looking for some escapist activities this afternoon. It would be a great time to go to the beach or spend the day relaxing at the lake. The moon is now void of course from 2:47 p.m. until Monday morning at 5:38 a.m. Enjoy the laid-back pace of the afternoon. And one last aspect for the day, Venus trines Pluto at 8:38 p.m. When these two planets combine, we find ourselves seeking greater and deeper emotional intimacy with those that we most trust. And in a display of that trust, one has the ability to talk about things that are real and personal and feel safe. On a more mundane level, this is a very good time to take a look at the commonalities and the things you share with your partner. And this aspect, Venus trine Pluto, is in effect all day. Monday, June 9th. The moon starts the day, void of course, in Libra. The moon enters emotionally passionate Scorpio at 5:38 a.m. With the moon no longer void of course, our morning will be a lot more productive. The moon trines Mercury at 11:04 a.m. Our communication skills are working great, especially if we're looking for something or trying to connect some issues from the past. This is a good time to have lunch with clients that you have not contacted for a while. Neptune goes stationary retrograde at 2:51 p.m. We're just beginning to really integrate more compassion into our lives and not just giving lip service to this process. We will be more reflective during this retrograde time. And Neptune does go retrograde for about 4 months every year. And then finally in the evening, the moon trines Neptune at 7:21 p.m. This aspect certainly adds to the relaxed and laid-back feeling established with Neptune going retrograde today. Enjoy yourself this evening and do something that allows you to be creative or to escape from your day-to-day life. Excuse me, I had to have something to drink there. Tuesday, June 10th. The moon transits success-driven Scorpio the entire day. She will turn void of course in the late evening, so make plans to get your more important activities done before then. The moon sextiles Pluto at 4:43 a.m. Although it's an early morning time, it's a great time to be cleaning out your closets and getting things in order. If you're asleep, you're doing this in your dreams. The moon opposes Venus at 7:49 a.m. We are feeling the need to indulge ourselves this morning. Try and give yourself plenty of time on your way to work so that you don't have to feel pressured. You have plenty of time for that extra donut. The moon conjunct Saturn, 1:30 p.m. This planetary combination is very good for being real and dealing with the harshness of reality. You have to be careful that you're not too overly pessimistic and miss the things that you actually have accomplished. This is a good time to separate the wheat from the chaff. This aspect between Moon and Saturn can leave us in a very melancholy mood. And finally, in the evening, the Moon trines Jupiter at 9:21 p.m. Our attitude is much better this evening, and we're ready to reward ourselves for working so hard all day. This is a good evening for almost any kind of activity, especially making our homes a more comfortable place to live. The moon is now void of course from 9:21 p.m. until 10:23 a.m. on Wednesday. Wednesday, June 11th. The moon begins the day void of course in hard-headed Scorpio. The moon does enter the jovial sign of Sagittarius at 10:23 a.m. The moon makes no aspect until 11:12 p.m. when the moon squares Neptune. With no aspects throughout the majority of the day, this may make the day feel like we're sailing without a rudder. The moon is not void of course, but because there are no planetary aspects, we won't feel as clear as we would like. Take your time, don't push too much, and you should be able to accomplish what you want today. And as well, connections with others will be more difficult. And finally, our only aspect for the day, the moon squares Neptune at 11:12 p.m. A good time to be curled up in bed, watching your favorite old movie, and escaping from any of the harsh realities of life. Thursday, June 12th. The moon resides all day in Sagittarius, the sign of enthusiastic activity. The moon sextiles Mars at 6:56 a.m. This will definitely help us to get our morning started on the right foot. We're ready to tackle our day head on. The moon trines Uranus at 1 p.m. This is a wonderful afternoon to be out doing presentations, talking to clients, or teaching others about new ways of looking at the world. We are all more open to new ideas that enhance our life with this aspect. And with a Moon-Uranus combination, this is always a good time for brainstorming. Venus opposes Saturn at 11:09 p.m. in the very end of the day. Since this aspect has been in effect all day, we are in the mood to analyze and evaluate the things, the people, and the investments in our lives. If those people or things in our lives don't serve us and don't provide for a greater sense of personal security, we would and should be questioning whether or not they need to even be in our lives. Venus opposing Saturn calls for clarity and good boundaries in relationships. This combination can make the day more difficult if those boundaries are missing in your relationships. And finally, in the evening, the moon opposes the sun at 11:11 p.m. This is the full moon in Sagittarius. Although this occurrence is in the latter part of the day, the energy of this transit will make us very chatty and inquisitive for the whole day. And this may also keep us up past our normal bedtime. And we will see the efforts of our labors with this full moon. And of course, the moon is now void, of course, at 11:11 p.m. until Friday afternoon at 12:04 p.m. Friday, June 13th. The moon starts the day void, of course, in far-reaching Sagittarius, and will remain void, of course, for half the day until the moon enters Capricorn. Plan your more important activities for afternoon. The moon enters goal-oriented Capricorn at 12:04 p.m. We are now much more grounded and ready to be productive for the whole day. And we may even try to make up for when we were not able to get as much done. So we're definitely going to be pushing ourselves. The moon opposes Mercury at 2:56 p.m. It's a time of clear thinking and getting our priorities in order. It's a good time for refining any plans that you've been working on. It would be best to be around others rather than by yourself with this aspect. Other people's ideas will be very stimulating to you. And finally, Saturday, June 14th, Happy Flag Day. The moon occupies the sign of Capricorn, sign of practicality, for the entire day. On this day, we'll be re-experiencing some of the cardinal cosmic cross that we endured in April. Or to state it in another way, hang on to your hat, Nellie, it's going to be a really bumpy ride. The moon sextiles Neptune at 12:22 a.m. What a great time to be up late, enjoying a bottle of wine with those closest to you. In the morning, Mars squares Pluto at 7:34 a.m. Since this aspect is in effect all day, it will tend to make us impatient, edgy, angry, defensive, and overreactive, and the likelihood of taking everything way too personally. This is a great morning to get out for a run or a really good workout at the gym. This can be a time of great focusing and great intensity, allowing us to achieve goals that we may not have thought were possible. If you find yourself losing your temper today, take 2 steps back and breathe deeply. Clear your head and try again. If anger takes over, you might as well assume that you've lost. On a personal level, this is the time to be direct and to the point with people in your life. Be careful, it may feel to them as if you're poking them with a big spear. Adding more fuel to the fire, the moon conjuncts Pluto at 8:43 a.m. Now, this aspect can make us feel that we can justify any actions that we need to take. This energy can be used to uncover or reveal things about ourselves that create real sabotage in our lives. Words can be powerful during this time. Be careful how you use them. And then 2 minutes later, the moon squares Mars at 8:45 a.m. This can really amp up the drama around you at this particular time. Situations can get out of control very quickly, almost like a wildfire. We're all likely to feel more angry or more edgy with this transit. Find some time to be alone with yourself so that you don't have to be polluted by someone else's drama. And if you see a big problem ahead, turn right. The moon squares Uranus 1:51 p.m. We're not done yet. Continuing to experience the activation of the cardinal cosmic cross, we are definitely in need of some space and freedom this afternoon. Try not to overload your schedule this afternoon and keep plenty of exit strategies at hand. Finally, in the afternoon, the moon sextiles Saturn. 4:34 p.m. We're finally getting a handle on our day. We're beginning to feel settled down and are completing some of the tasks that we thought we were going to do today. These are great energies for working on any last-minute projects. The moon trines Venus at 8:17 p.m. This is the evening for self-indulgence. After the trying morning you've had, you are much more than ready to let go and just enjoy yourself. Realistically, it's a great time for entertaining loved ones or schmoozing with your clients. Have a good time. Well, that's it. That's the week that we've been talking about, June 8th through June 14th. And please join us next week as we look at the planetary forecast for June 15th through June 21st, 2014. This is the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye.